What's going on, guys? Abrasius here. Today we'll have a summary of my opinions on the three situations that I presented you on Monday or Thursday respectively if you're on BitChute or YouTube. So let's just jump straight into it. So the first situation was kind of weird, because the Spearmen were actually positioned after the combat reform from the Dread of Playa, because they just killed some chaff in the middle. And I think that this reform is really bad. I think if they stayed in a 5x3 position, they would be so much better. Because, okay, first of all, the ghasts wouldn't see them. I think now they might not see them. Well, it's hard to eyeball without exact measurements, but I think they still don't see them. But with the 5x3 block, they definitely wouldn't see them. And now, what does the vampire player do? He just charges the ghouls into the spearman, grabs the spearman, all is great. If they are in 5x3 in the middle, then one of two options will happen. The ghouls charge the spearman, kill the spearman, have no sensible overrun, stay in the spot, will probably get charged by at least 3 chariots and the dancers with altar. That's pretty bad. That usually means that the ghouls would crumble. Okay, the second option that will happen, the spearmen flee. They flee in the position before the dancers with altar, and if ghouls catch them, then they will definitely get charged by the chariots, by the dancers with altar, maybe by another spearman, and by mage as well. So either way, the ghouls practically cannot take that charge. If spearmen by fleeing run through the dancers with altar and through the spearmen, then the ghouls will just fail charge, so they just gain nothing. By positioning in the conga line, you actually give away the unit of spearmen for free. So that was, in my opinion, completely pointless. And that's what I wanted to see from you here. But I don't think that anyone actually noticed that. But yeah, it was hard to eyeball, I guess. Okay, the second one, the vampires versus dwarves. And here we had many more good answers, interesting answers. So first of all, the charge with Kingsguard on the ghouls is a pretty close one. It's around 5 or 6, so that should be fine. So most of you would just go with this charge, and probably rightfully so. Then I would say the Vengeance Seeker should also charge, but first you should probably try to charge the Kingsguard, because if you fail that charge, you don't want the Vengeance Seeker to get into the ghouls. So if you first fail that charge, you will probably block the charge from the Vengeance Seeker into the ghouls, which would be nice. But probably you will make it in with both of them. And you shouldn't direct any attacks at the vampire, you should just try to kill the ghouls unit. Then, Graybus with Engineer probably should just stay in front of zombies. If they stay in front of zombies, you don't need to redirect ghasts in any way, because the ghasts would not fit in any sort of situations between the zombies and the Greybuds. You just should make sure that the ghast hero is not able to charge out into your Greybeards. Although this might not end well for the ghast hero, you should try to deny him this opportunity. And what to do with bombers? There were a few good suggestions. So you could try to charge the bombers into the dogs, both of them actually. But the problem is that if you kill too many dogs, then the Shrieking Horrors will be able to countercharge you. But if you kill only 5 of them, which I think is pretty safe to say that you wouldn't kill more, then you should be fine. So this is an option, but another option that is also viable is just charge 1 bomber into dogs, because with 1 bomber into dogs you are not getting countercharged in any way, and you are blocking the march check for the Shrieking Horror on the left, and there is a good chance that at some point you will crumble those dogs. The second bomber should just get out of the range of the Shrieking Horrors if possible. So in the game, actually what happened was that the Kingsguard solo charged the ghouls without the Vengeance Seeker help. But what ended up with is that roughly 2 rows of ghouls were left, but with very shitty rolls from the vampire in the next healing turn. He actually didn't manage to heal any ghouls, and the unit crumbled anyway. So there was that, and the game ended in a 20-0 at this point, because the Kingsguard got a free reform. What would happen if you charge the Vengeance Seeker as well? Well, probably only 1 row of ghouls will be left, and then the next turn, even if the vampire manages to heal some, you will still be able to crumble them, and you will just have a free charge with the Kingsguard into whatever you want. Probably not the flank of Gus, because Gus would probably just face the ghouls, but maybe in the zombies with court and then redirect the ghasts with the vengeance seeker. So that would still mean a very, very bad end for the vampires. So let's go to the last one, and this is the game from my stream where, well, we actually didn't play the regular scenario. We played marching columns for the deployment. So that was not included in the question, but I think that still this is a viable question. What do you do if you want to deploy all of your army? So I would like to notice a few things. First of all, the deployment on the bottom is clearly a bit cut. You have just more spots on the bottom. So what I would like to notice is that the flaggies are probably useful for the center, so you should try to keep them in the center. And well, there will be a slight problem with your leadership, but the biggest problem is that you have only the handguns as the unit where your heroes can stand in. Well, I don't count the rangers. They are probably busy with something else. And now your choice is basically whether you want to have the dragon on the right behind the hill or on the left behind the building. So I would say that the better option is to have the dragon on the right behind the hill for several reasons. First of all, you can position your cav near the impassable terrain, and then you will have much closer to the center itself. Second of all, the hill is much closer to the board edge than the building. So from the building, the dragon can actually come to your lines a bit faster. So, and then on the right side, you also have the ruins, which can help you with covering your handguns unit. So what I would do is I would put the handguns in the ruins with the heroes, obviously. I would leave some space behind them so that they can back off or even flee from the dragon if necessary. I would put the cavalry on the right hand side of the obelisk, one cavalry with the general. I would actually probably put a second cavalry on the left hand side of the battlefield, because with the speed of the cavalry you will be able to get back into combat, and your opponent will have to think about them, what to do about them. Even though the leadership is kind of meh on them, it's not that easy to force a panic check, and if your opponent decides to just shoot you with sloops, then it's much easier for you to back off from this flank through under the impassable terrain to the middle than for him to back off with sloops to the center. Then one of the flaggies should go just on the left side of the impassable terrain, and the second flaggis should go on the right hand side of the cavalry. The rangers should probably stay somewhere near the ruins, probably blocking the charge to the ancient dragon, from the ancient dragon to the units that are standing in the ruins. So he would have to charge the rangers first, then have the redirect check, leadership 10 on 3 dice. That's still fine, but yeah, you can always fail that. And then the war machines in a close proximity, so that the mage can be positioned in a way that with 6-inch range he can still reach the machines. But first round you will most likely need to move the unit up. You will not probably have the range for the spells first round, because you don't want to march and lose more models in the ruins. But I think still it is worth it, because keeping your main unit safe is pretty important. The position of writers is not that significant. You can just drop them all around the board, because with the vanguard and the first turn moves you can easily correct that. So I think what is very important is that flaglands actually help in the center. In the real game, my opponent deployed his flaglands very far on the flanks, and the cavalry is in the center, and the cavalry just couldn't stand the Phoenix Guard, or the Flame Wardens in other words. And then the flaglands did absolutely nothing this game. One just died in the end from the shots and attacks from the Sea God. So that will be it from this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed this kind of content, and I hope I will be able to find some more situations like this to show you to consider. And see you in the next one. Cheers.